CHGO's Vinnie here with new White Sox manager Will Venable. Will, thanks for taking the time. How's your first week on the job been?
It's been awesome. A lot of action, a lot going on, meeting a lot of people and shaking a lot of hands, but having a lot of fun too.
What's it been like working with Chris Getz? Obviously, you talked a lot about him and the appeal of working with him when you were, initially introduced last week. A week in, what have those conversations been like, and what's it like working alongside Chris Getz?
It's been easy, it's been really comfortable. We're able to spend some time together at the GM meetings, which was nice. Just to be able to sit back and, he was busy with some stuff, but just really with him and the whole group, just being able to sit and talk baseball, talk some of the ideas they have for us getting better was really cool.
We hear a lot from the players and others, but players too, specifically, that his status as a former player is something they really respect and appreciate. As a former player, what do you appreciate about Chris's kind of background?
Yeah, that he understands, number one, the challenges of just being a major league player, and that is really important when you're thinking about, what can I do to help create an environment to help support these players? What are the things that they need from a training component to family support, whatever it might be. It's been amazing, and I think it's really important for someone in a leadership role like that to be in tune with those things.
Your last stop was in Texas, associate manager to Bruce Bochy. First off, for folks who might not be familiar with that, what does an associate manager do?
Similar responsibilities to a bench coach. It's really just a title, but a glorified bench coach.
You've talked so much about how important Bochy was to you, and in 2 years in Texas, going from to a place where you felt comfortable taking this job. What did Bruce Bochy teach you about becoming a major league manager?
I don't know if we have enough time for all of it, but just incredible in the way that he included myself and the staff into his daily process, and that's something as simple as when he hands me the lineup to get processed, asking me if I wanted to change anything, or involving me in bullpen discussions and the bullpen process, letting me know about how he communicated with a player or solved the problem with a player, and he really let me in. And I really did go to the school of Bochy, and it was awesome. So can't thank him enough. He really put me in a position where I feel really confident that I'm prepared for this opportunity.
You spent a few years on the north side coaching with the Cubs. What did you learn about baseball fans in this city and what sports means to people in this city as you step into a lead role on the other side of town? Yeah,
that they understand the game, that's and being in Wrigley, but also being here as a visitor, having fans who are really smart and understand the nuance of the game, and the moments of a game, and also that fans that have really high expectations for effort and competitiveness, and that's something I appreciate too.
I saw an interview you did back then when you were with the Cubs talking about how Wrigley Field was only a few L stops away for you. Did you ride the red line to work every day? And, there's a red line stop out here. Maybe you could hop on the other direction.
I might have to, depending on where I live for the summer. I might have to. And, yeah, I rode the L a lot, especially when my family was in town and they needed the car. I love the L, and, love being able to just jump on it.
You talked about effort and competitiveness. We've heard a lot over the last year about trying to change the way this team plays. What do you kind of look to bring in that area, and kind of maybe going to be the hallmarks that you're searching for as you start spring training and the season and want to see from the guys on the field?
Yeah, I think we'll talk about those things in detail as we get closer and we build out our roster. But I think broadly, like, just setting the expectation for some of these things and being very direct on the front end, and really giving the leaders of our group something to look at and hold people accountable is going to be something that's really important.
We've seen, the last few years, a lot of, mistakes in the field and on the base paths and stuff like that. What can a manager do to clean that stuff up? Obviously, maybe personnel changes take care of some of that, but what can a manager do and a coaching staff do to make sure that those things are moving in the right direction?
Yeah, it's about creating a vision for what you want to do out there, and I think there's so much complexity to the game of baseball that sometimes just keeping things really simple is a good way to go and a good place to start, and then having the expectations of what it is that we want to do and what we want to accomplish, and then ultimately being able to hold people accountable is what really moves the needle.
And how do you do that?
By just having direct conversations. When expectations aren't met, you have a conversation about it.
You're the outfield coach as well down in Texas. First of all, have you apologized to Andrew Vaughn for the Travis Jankowski catch?
No, but I haven't, but I owe him an apology. Yeah, that was a tough one. Obviously I was happy about it then, not so happy about it now. But that was a tough play.
What do the duties of an outfield coach look like too? I mean, we've seen, when there are problems here, fans will, get upset about a play that's not made or communication that's not made. How does a coaching staff and an outfield coach in particular kind of address some of that stuff?
Yeah, I think it's really a daily thing to help support these guys to be at their best, and that's information, that's positioning help, that's what they need on a daily basis on the field to get ready for the game, and then it's support, and it's support and honesty when plays aren't made, and I think that's something that for all our coaches is going to be important to be supportive, but at the same time have those direct conversations and hold people accountable.
You talked about watching your dad play big league baseball growing up, but you also mentioned that he was a coach for a really long time. What about his coaching career and his coaching ability kind of rubbed off on you as you turned into a coach yourself and are now managing a team?
Yeah, he was extremely empathetic. He was a guy that as a player, he played parts of 12 seasons in the major leagues. I think he got maybe 8.5 years of service time, but he had to grind to do it, and I think that's something that he brought to his coaching style every day, and something that I want to too. This game is really hard, and there's certainly going to be times where, you need someone to pick you up, and that's something that I think is really important.
He coached you in the minor leagues, right?
Did in A-ball and AAA. Who's my hitting coach? Yeah.
What was it like having your dad as a coach at the pro level?
It was awesome. And as much of a baseball guy as he was, he didn't coach me a lot in baseball growing up. So we really made up for lost time there in the pro ranks. But it was amazing. He's a great coach and a great dad, and I was really lucky to have that experience.
I know a lot of people have asked you about the appeal of this job. One thing I want to drill down on is maybe the time, right? This is maybe looking like a long-term thing to get the Sox to where you guys want them. What do you kind of think about when you think about maybe the time element, the fact that this is going to be maybe years down the road when you guys are at the point that you want to be? What about that maybe appealed to you, or what do you think about the amount of time that this could take?
I really hadn't thought about the future as much as the present and the things that we can do to help build this foundation now, and that's what I'm excited about, and I do know that it's not going to be overnight that this thing is turned around, but at the same time there are things that we can do and are doing right now to help get there, and bit by bit we're confident that we're looking at it the right way and doing the right things to get there.
There's a lot of improvement in kind of the clubhouse last year from the year prior to just the group of guys that they had in there. As a former major leaguer, what makes a clubhouse work, and what can you as the manager do to kind of make sure that stays a positive for this team?
Yeah, it's a good question because I feel like every group is unique and just has the special recipe of dudes that makes it what it is. And I certainly know that this group has some great individuals, and I've talked to some of them about the things that are important to them and the things that they're excited about going into this year. And I think you mix in that group that's willing to go out and compete every night with a coaching staff that can remain positive but also honest and direct when we know we need to hold each other accountable. I think you can have something special.
Your college baseball coach played for the White Sox, I believe. What did he tell you about the South Side?
You know what? We haven't had conversations about the South Side, although he did send me a picture of him at bat in his Sox uniform when they got the job. So I know he's very excited, and he's someone that has helped me a lot. So I'll have to pick his brain a little bit more about the South Side.
Awesome. Will, thanks so much for your time.
You got it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
For CHGO, I'm Vinnie Duber.
We all silly like the mayor.